We're here with you, seventh inning stretch. Josh Edwards along with me here on a Thursday night. We're going to be getting into Vladdy, this big extension for Toronto. What does that mean for the rest of Major League Baseball and some of the other teams? And what does it mean for the AL East? We'll also get into, is Hunter Green the next Max Scherzer? We'll get to that. We'll get to that next with it. Peace. All right, we're here with you. Like I said, seventh inning stretch. Got Josh Edwards with me a little later than we usually do, too, so we're sorry about that. But we're ready to go here on a Thursday night, kind of wrapping up week 2 of Major League Baseball. Some of the things we've seen around MLB. Like I said, I kind of want to get into Hunter Green and Scherzer. I have a little thing I want to get into with them. We got some stuff involving the Pirates, some drama there. We'll get into the standings checks, see some diamond notes as well. Josh Edwards, a lot to get into tonight. That Vladdy news, though, right away, that's the big deal, I feel like. We kind of talked about it all season leading up to it. He gets 14 years, $500 million with a lot of incentives that can make that way more. He gets the $325 up front no matter what. I guess my biggest question is, what does it mean for the rest of MLB to have Vladdy stay with Toronto? Before I, but I also, when we just talk about Toronto, it's like, wow, what a big move for this franchise that just seemed like they were going to lose people over and over and over. You know what I mean? So this guy at work, though, Vladdy was going to be a boss. Yeah, no, a lot of teams thought he was going places, Josh. A lot of places.
I thought he was going somewhere.
So
I didn't think he was going to stay in Toronto, but, look at that deal.
It's
all about the money, according to Logan. So, if he wants to get paid, that's the place to get paid.
Well, that's what Toronto had to do.
His hometown. He's doing it in his hometown, so I don't mind as much, to be honest.
Yeah. I guess let's start there with the question. Like, what does it mean for Toronto to be able to sign this guy? It looked like everybody in baseball thought I thought he was going to be a Met, right? Or people thought he was going to be a Yankee or whatever it was. That's what Aaron thought probably was going to be, or going to be a Cardinal, apparently. Yeah, we had all that coming in from St. Louis sports. My point is like, you have Vladdy, who has been a 4-time All-Star the last 4 years. He's been in MVP runnings. Been in the top 10 a couple times. Always is pretty consistent with his numbers, always there for 30 home runs, even more with that potential. What does that mean for Toronto and the league as a whole? As I kind of propose that question to us, I feel like it's a bigger deal than just for Toronto. And people could say, well, Toronto, they have a lot of money. They've been trying to sign guys. They have been. But it also means something to me that they kept one of their own guys. Like the Astros didn't do that with Kyle Tucker. Right. We've seen teams not kind of hold on to their guys. Obviously, you've seen that with my A's in the past. But what do you make? What do you make?
Poster child of it.
Exactly. So what do you make? 14 years, and he stays with Toronto. To me, that's a pretty big deal for the MLB, Josh.
That's a huge commitment for not just the MLB, because Toronto gets to keep their big star. That's huge. That gives Toronto something to continue to build around. Hopefully, that keeps Bichette there as well. So you have that pair together.
Yep.
And if he can get a deal that's, even 8 at 200, 10 at 200.
Yeah.
That they're set with a core to build around going forward. But this also shows other players and the MLB that Toronto is going to make an attempt to play ball and not just hang out. I think this is going to draw some other players there because they're going to know that Vladimir is there with stability. And that to me is a big step. That's something like the Cardinals don't do. Well, they don't give out big long-term contracts.
No, and I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of these teams that we're saying is maybe on the cusp of this. They're not willing to commit over 10 years to a contract. No. But the difference is he's been there 7 years already. That means let's say he did live out this whole contract, he'll be there 21 years. Awesome. If he lives it out. We can say if that we think is possible or not, but he does get his money. I like his dad's advice. Just get as much as you possibly can, son. That's the key there to it. But he stays in Toronto. To me, just a big deal for them. You're starting to see it a little bit with their play a little bit this year as they signed him, little confidence there along the way. But that's going to do
second in their division.
It'll be interesting what they do with other players. Like, do they sign Bichette? They went out this year and signed Santander, so they obviously showed Guerrero that they've been willing to spend. It sounded like they tried very legitimately, if not one of the top 2 in the Ohtani deal. So
Right.
you know what I mean? Like this franchise has shown that, and they haven't won a
Ohtani?
world. Yeah, well, I'm just saying
They were in the
they were in the
Were they
running.
on the
Yeah.
Soto deal too.
Yeah, remember people were like making that big deal because of that tweet, like he's on a plane to
Yeah, to Toronto. Yeah, you're right. I remember when we did that. Yeah.
so you have that, and then just for a guy that basically has over 160 home runs, has the potential to hit 400 to 500 home runs. What a big deal for them, and a big deal to me for some of the other teams in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's not going to be like market setting or anything, but hopefully it'll start a trend where these mid-market teams say, all right, we're going to commit somewhere. We're going to make a commitment and we're going to build around this. We're going to take a risk. That's kind of what you're looking for.
Yeah, your Cardinals didn't even do that with with Pujols, right? Like your team, like there's certain teams that just aren't going to commit to 500, like a huge deal like that.
If Pujols wouldn't have been having the foot problems that they were aware of, he probably would have gotten his contract.
He would have got it. Yeah, I got
is
you.
my guess.
Vladdy, like if he would have done this at
the
7-year mark, I got you. If they did this with like Pujols a few years earlier, they would have been in a position where they had to do it, basically.
Yeah, and if it wasn't 10-250, I bet they could have gotten 10-200 out of him, but not 250.
Well, no, not back then either when that was the case. So Vladdy signs with Toronto, a big deal. Blue Jays off to a good start, like I said, 8-6. We can get into this kind of as we talk a little baseball with it as well. But like I said, two different sides of the Vladdy thing. Toronto, great signing. Obviously, you keep your star. You've been trying to keep guys forever. MLB signing, maybe teams like the Cardinals, D-backs, Giants, can they get to this world where they develop their guy? And then
I think D-backs are a different story. I don't even think they're in that category, and they don't need to be.
Well, maybe they're not, but I'm saying eventually that's what we need for Major League Baseball to compete, is that you have franchises willing to spend that type of money to be able to match some of the big boys in the league. As we talk about some of the big boys in the league as well, I wanted to say just real quick here, what does it mean for next year's free agent class? So with Vladdy staying, right, that kind of changes the market a little bit, I would think, with some of these guys. So just give you kind of based on right now, some of the top 10 guys that are free agents next year. Kyle Tucker immediately moves to number one. He's obviously maybe he would have been number one anyways after the year, if he has the year he's been off to the start. Dylan Cease, Zach Gallen, Framber Valdez, Walker Buehler, free agents, Michael King, who's shown stuff, Bo Bichette that you mentioned, Muto from the Phillies, Schwarber, who still continues to play well. So just to give you a few names of guys that would be free agents next year, just as that changes it definitely jumps Tucker to an area where I feel like he's going to have some leverage. So we'll see what happens there. I think he'll
have leverage. I don't know if we're going to see another 14,500.
It won't be that. That would have been that would have had to been the Astros. I think he won't get that. He's not. But I mean, there's a world where he gets a Jackson Merrill 9-year, maybe more than that, $250 million deal.
That's kind of where I see him as
maybe
an 8 to 10-year deal around 250 to 275.
So it'll be interesting.
That's kind of where I see he's at maxed out.
Man, but that's also crazy to think about. Like, let's just say he took a 7-year, $250 million deal, right? Okay, do you think Juan Soto is $500 million better than him? It's just crazy to think of it like that when you break it down. Like, right? Josh, look at me in air quotes, if he settles for 250, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is kind of funny. You got to think the agents know that. And so Tucker jumps this. For me, is a big benefit for him. He would have benefited anyways. He still would have been, but he doesn't have teams trying to go after Vladdy. He signed with Toronto. The market's open. The Cubs now really are going to have to pay the piper to keep him. The Cubs are really going to, they have the advantage. They have them, but man, they're really going to have to they're going to have to step up, right? Like the Cubs are going to have to, or the Cubs, one of those franchises I'm talking about, Josh, that will spend 10 years, $400 million. We'll see. They've kind of
Cubs would be.
They've kind of shied away from it lately.
Can I add a couple more pending free agent or guys who are going to be free agents?
Yeah, let's do it before we get to my power rankings.
All right, so Jordan Montgomery's on that, and he's coming off Tommy John surgery because he's had just had Tommy John surgery. So we'll see what happens there. Bellinger's back on the market again. Trevor Story will be on the market. Starling Marte will be on the market, but he's getting old, so I'll be curious to see what he gets because he is 37, going to be 37 and a half. Marcus Stroman will be on the market at 35 years old. Chris Taylor, the utility player for the Dodgers, who never seems to be bad, is also going to be available. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys. Kodai Senga's available. Tommy Edmonds going to be available as well. So is Eflin. I mean, it's going to be a
Senga
pretty good.
And Eflin. would be good ones. Those would be good ones that you mentioned there.
I mean, Lugo's going to be available. Shane Bieber's available.
Some of those early guys you mentioned,
Shota Emanaga.
I might pass on those. So those are some good free agents that we have on the board. So I think Tucker though is the biggest prize headed into next year.
I'm trying to make sure Brandon Woodruff's going to be on the.
I don't know if
board next year.
is a free agent. What does this mean for the polar bear? The polar bear means he's gonna. This one's always been weird to me because I don't understand why the polar bear never was signed to a bigger deal. We're talking about that era. I mean, like I said, he's like one of the best first basemen in the league. He could hit 40 home runs like it's nothing. I get it. He can't hit freaking sliders away, but whatever. He gets clutch hits. So he kind of seems to know what he does well. The Mets got a steal with him again this year, Aaron. I continue to say that along the way with it, but he has a chance to make a lot of money as well. Given a lot of these guys you're mentioning too are like they have the options, but most likely they're going to take their free agent option. That's where it is. But
yeah, because of the way the market is now.
Yeah, there's some pitcher heavy stuff there too, as well as we look into next year. But when we look at next year's free agent class,
Albies and
true, Aaron, you're right about that. I'll give you that.
What's his name? Albies and what's the other?
You talking about Brave?
A last name. Yeah, the Braves. They got both of them on there. Arcia.
Acuna? He's not a free agent.
No, Arcia. They're both on the free agents availability next year. So I mean, that's gonna be a lot of free agents next year, man.
A lot of good ones on the list there. I want to give people. I put this out Tuesday, so there's things could change. But my power rankings kind of came in for top 10. They're a little National League heavy. I mean, like I said, I put this out Tuesday, so a few things maybe has changed on it if I would have changed the position here or there. But I had Dodgers 1. Aaron, your Mets number 2. I had them there with it. Phillies, followed by the Padres, Yankees, Giants, Blue Jays, Rangers, Red Sox, Tigers. At the time were my top 10 headed in the league. Those guys, they still Yankees in first, Blue Jays 8-6 right there. Tigers in first, Rangers in first, Angels 8-4. Maybe you could have some say with them. Phillies 8-3, Mets 8-4. I think got the Cubs 9-6, Padres 10-3, Giants 9-3. So I pretty much got the top 10 there with it. All right, maybe if I got lower with it. But any thoughts with that? My power rankings this week?
Well, I would have had the Dodgers lower.
Who do you have them better than? Who's better than them?
I would have the Padres higher than them at this point.
Fair enough. I agree. I can agree.
I probably would have the Phillies over them too because the Phillies beat them, if I recall correctly.
The Nats beat them.
No, the Nats beat them. Okay, never mind. I knew it was a red team. Couldn't remember.
Remember Logan was tweeting about it. I'll text you. The Nats beat the Dodgers. He was rubbing it in our face about it.
Hey, I loved it, man. It's the only time I've ever rooted for the Nats.
He was texting us about it.
Do you have the Giants on there anywhere?
I have that number 6.
That's
I got a lot of West. I got 4 teams in the National League. Then I get to an AL team and the Yankees.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had the Yankees as number 1. I would have had the Rangers as number 1 AL team.
Yeah, they don't scare me as much as the Yankees.
And I would have had the Angels above the Yankees.
Oh man, I'm not doing that.
I got to, man. They're playing. Everybody plays in the equal schedule now, so we have to run it off the equal schedule.
See, I don't just.
It's going to equal its way out.
Standings. That was the case.
This early in the season, I have to.
Yeah. See, I think this early in the season, I get a bailout. And I don't have to do that. I can just. I
gotta go just based on standings.
Well,
later in the season, I can take into account injuries and everything else and all that other good stuff. This is just wins and losses on the schedule you played right now.
Yeah, I still think these teams are. I still think some of these teams are better than the Angels. All 10 of these teams are better than the Angels. And the Angels maybe they prove me a little bit more right. This Josh, maybe they sneak into that 10 spot around there. Maybe even the Angels, are not one of my fan favorite teams. So, but they have to really earn my love. The Angels more than most teams. I know it's a random team I don't like. I get it, people. But that's what it is.
It's a random team I don't like.
It really is. It really is. And most people don't have any thoughts about the Angels at all. You mentioned the Rangers, though. Yeah, I've been playing well. It's been off to a great start. In first place early, 9-4. The other thing, though, it's a little weird, though, the run differential's -8, which is not a huge deal at this time of the year. There's a few games that
but it's odd to be have the best record in the league and have a negative run differential.
It is different. Like when you look at the Yankees, they're in first +23, Tigers +14, Phillies +15, Cubs +28, +14 for the Padres. So it does give you can they sustain it? And their pitching. DeGrom's been pretty good to start. He had the first really good game to start against the Red Sox. Pitched last week, did pretty good as well. I don't know. The one guy Leiter's been good for him. Rocker has not been very good for him. He's been getting lit up a little bit. Evaldi's been up and down like he usually is. So I don't know. The Rangers kind of interesting thought there with that team as well. So I don't know. I think they have potential to really jump. They're a weird team to me. I can't figure them out yet.
Yeah, we'll see. Man, it's really early. I mean, we're 12 games in?
Yeah. It's enough for me. Was that 4% of the season?
That's what I was saying. Was it 4, 5, 6%, something like that? Yeah, I got enough to judge yet.
Let's go, Miguel. Well, we want to judge. That's what we want to do. That's why we come up with power rankings, man. That's
think of it this way, man. The Braves are 2-9.
Pathetic.
The White Sox are 2-10.
That's true.
That means the Rockies, the Pirates, the Reds, and the Nationals, and the Marlins are all better than the Braves.
And like
yes,
that, it's probably not.
Have a +9 run differential.
All right, maybe I'm wrong in the Angels. I know.
Good call, St. Louis sports. I like that. Having my back.
I know Brandon's big. He got on my case today about that when I had the Reds in there and not the Angels. So I got it. That's all good stuff. The Giants have been they had that comeback yesterday.
Surprise.
They got shut out by the Reds the last 2 games. What was that? Wednesday? No, Monday, Tuesday. And then they ended up winning Wednesday on that comeback. CP, what's up, man? Hey, I have your bets number 2, bud. Should they be number 1? I got them. No, they should be.
I got them like 6.
Hey, Aaron asked us if you're out there. I'd be curious, CP, if you're listening. He asked me about what does this mean for Polar Bear, because we were talking about free agents going into next year because Vladdy of the signing. So CP, just for you out there, does this change anything for the Polar Bear? Does it change anything for him going into the offseason? I'd be curious what you thought about that. But Mets number 2, like I said on there. Any other teams kind of even around Major League Baseball, it was interesting. Those A's, watching them in Sacramento is such a weird deal for me. It's just odd, right? There's no like really core fan base there. The team, it just feels like you're at like a minor league game, like right where you're just you're into it, but you're not really like passionate with it, which is kind of funny because they're playing at a minor league stadium. But anything else maybe catch your attention? Like I said, we talked about the Giants, Padres a little. Your Cardinals kind of been up and down a little bit too.
Golly, man, talk about the roller coaster emotion as a Cardinal fan right now.
Yeah, you're going through that. You mentioned the Marlins, though, 6-6 as well.
I told you they were going to be better than you thought.
I bet they were. So, what else?
And Sandy Alcantara is back.
He's back.
Almost. His first start was good.
Hey,
second start. I didn't check on the second start yet.
They had a couple walk-offs. Anything else? Any other teams? Maybe the ones I have up on my power rankings.
I'm proud of the Athletics, for being close to being 500. The surprise to me right now is Minnesota. Like I said, I got to see them in person. They far underperformed, and they had all the talent. We talked about them needing to be a dominant team, and my mediocre Cardinals waxed them.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That really opens up the AL Central for me. So I really think it's going to be KC's to lose if Minnesota doesn't figure it out. Detroit, not KC's to lose. It's going to be KC and Detroit battling out, and it'll be theirs to lose. Cleveland?
I think KC is an interesting team still. Like I watched them play. If I was a fan of them, I would be excited because it's not bad baseball, but because you're actually winning games. But man, it's a weird team. Like their offense it's not that great. Like it's
not that bad either.
It's too up and down for me. Like it's not. It'd be frustrating outside of Witt.
I mean,
it would be a little frustrating. It'd be a little frustrating.
Cubs aren't that good.
No, we got surprised the Cubs aren't top 10. They weren't there last week on Tuesday. I felt like there are some teams above them, but Brandon, let's note to self. Let's do this Thursday morning. I got to send something out to you. Note to self there with it. Mets at 6 is crazy. But yes, this changes everything for Pete. $35 million for Vladdy is insane. As I put to it, I don't have him at 6. I have him at number 2 though. I got him at number 2. Josh at number 6, baby. But I got him number 2.
Remember, my point. My rankings are based basically just strictly on record at this point.
I was looking at our bets things before. I did take the bets as one of my World Series bets. So we got there $35 million for Vladdy.
I put him in the running to win their division.
You did. You're right there with it.
Like, I'm not down on him. I just right now, like, I got teams that are better. I got 4 teams in the NL that are better than him.
I respect that. I
got two. I got at least one in the AL that's better. So that's where I'm at. CP. No hate.
Our Mets A's play a little bit CP from there, so we got that going on. I always try to show the Mets a little love, other than Lindor. That's the thing. That's the only shade I catch from the Mets fan base is Lindor shade. But he shut me up, man. Like I said, he might get to 3,000 hits. He's got 1,500 hits. I was looking at that this week randomly was the hit leaders, active hit leaders. He's 31. He's got 1,500 hits. I think Freeman has the most at 2,200. He's 35 though. Do you think Lindor could get to 3,000 hits, or do you think like Freeman maybe could get there? And that's kind of a random off-topic question I didn't bring to you, but I did look it up. Do you think 50 could? I think that's too many hits for Lindor to have to get in that short of time. I don't see it to get to 3,000 at 31. I don't know. That seems a little much to me.
Seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, let's see how long a career he has, I guess, with that stuff as well. So I was thinking about with the power rankings as well. This is just kind of off base with some of that, but as I was looking about baseball, I was kind of thinking of Hunter Green because I got to see him pitch against the Giants this week, and I just obviously see him before. I wonder he might be the best pitcher in baseball this year, and then like after that going into the past, like he really has a lot of Max Scherzer vibes to me, where he started out his first 3-4 years as kind of a thrower, trying to figure out his ERAs were in the mid-4s kind of oddly, but you knew he had like electric stuff. And once he figured out the location, he gets there. He has the dominant performance against the Giants the other day where he almost goes complete game. He's only going to get better, I feel like. He's young. I'm not saying he's next Max Scherzer. Like, that's a high example. But I just mean in terms of guys, I'm like, wow, these guys throw really hard. They kind of remind me of their career trajectory a little bit, the way it's going. Green seems to be locked in for a potential Cy Young season, especially if he gets to play the Giants every week. But that I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm not too off base in that, but I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. Like Hunter Green, to me, you've seen him a little bit in those areas as well. So we're all doing a great job. Lindor turning it around a bit early. He's getting through 3K. He might. CP also wanted to shout you out, man. I'm always impressed. Me and Josh always talk about doing daily shows, and it's Josh, as you know, life is a slap in the face.
There's no way I could do it. I don't have enough time.
I'm always impressed with CP on that. So mad respect, but as you know as well, yes, I think that's where more Lindor adds up is the 2,500 kind of area. That's where if we're taking bets, that's where I'm more at with it. But Josh, back to Green there.
Man, I don't know, man. I think maybe
you've seen him pitch. He's nasty.
He's never had a good game against the Cardinals.
Yeah, but if you look at him, but that's my thing is when you look at Scherzer, his first couple of years in the league, there's nothing to be like, oh, this guy is gonna be. He's got great stuff, but he can't even throw a darn strike. I mean, he struggled a little bit. He went 4.12, 3.50, 4.43, and that's where you see Hunter Green. He's 3.74 Scherzer, and then he kind of figures it out, gets to 2.9, and he's been cooking ever since then. The K's were always there, just like the K's are always going to be there for Green. I'm just wondering, looking at their stats, like that for me is where I see the most similarity is like that with strikeout rate, but also that inconsistent ERA. But like last year, he goes 2.75. This year, he's at, just to start through 3 seasons, at 1.31 after coming off a 4.44 and a 4.82. That's why I think he kind of reminds me of like maybe that type of player.
I'm looking at Scherzer at the beginning of Scherzer's career.
Yeah, and same here. I'm looking them up right now. I got them right here in Baseball Reference.
So, okay, we're looking at the same thing. That's awesome. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me go back then.
So you got Green there right there. And I just think that's a big thing. Then all of a sudden he figures it out by year basically 6. Like really figures it out. And I think there's potential for Green to figure it out maybe even sooner than that. But that would be a thing. And what Green started pitching at 22 in the big leagues, Scherzer 23. I mean, Josh, there's just a lot of similarities here between these two guys. And so my biggest takeaway just from the first couple weeks, like this guy is potentially going to be the best pitcher over the next 5 years, maybe 10 years. And that's just how I feel about it. I just think he's he might be that guy. He probably wouldn't be a Red if that's the case for very long. Maybe the Reds do surprise me as one of those teams, but I don't know. I just think I think that's one of my most impressive things from watching early on is Hunter Green, and just that I think he's going to be the next guy.
I think the potential is there. Okay, so my take on Hunter Green as a fan who's seen him multiple times but is not a Reds guy.
Yep.
Would I be happy to have him in my rotation? Absolutely. I think he's a head case. I think if he can figure this out,
which Scherzer was too.
Again, so the potential, I can say his potential is where you say it is. But if he can't figure the head out, I can't see him ever making it to where you're at.
To be fair, he's
got all the tools. Can he put it all together? That's the question.
He was 2.75 with an All-Star appearance last year, and finished 8th in Cy Young voting. So that might be the start of it, right? Could be.
Or could the pressure end up being so much that he crumbles under it later?
All fair questions. That was just I thought was a good little thing. I'm kind of as I see the future, I'm like, all right, I kind of see some stuff with those guys.
Well, I got the comparison thing up, and I was sitting here looking at him like, man, he's no Max Scherzer. There's some things that are close. Like their FIP is close.
Yeah, but that's
ERAs.
That's looking at the comparison thing. I'm looking at just literally their career box scores, and you see
I flipped over 2 seconds.
Yeah, you see their year to year, and it's like, well, yeah, Scherzer has 18 years on a guy that has 4, so he's gonna have everything built up. And obviously, he was allowed to go a little bit more in the beginning of his career. And what did Scherzer say? What's the thing I saw was crazy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So in 8 out of 10 years, he finished top 5 or better in Cy Young voting. So obviously, I put a lot of pressure on Green with that stuff. And that's literally what Scherzer. That's pretty insane, right there, right? 8 out of 10 years in top 5 voting in the Cy Young. So Hunter Green. No pressure.
I'll give this. Hunter Green got more Ks in his – man, no, I got to compare these seasons. Hold on, because the amount
but it's the way they pitch. They throw freaking gas, and they don't necessarily always control it. And then they – like you said, there is a little head stuff once in a while.
I got you, but Scherzer had way more strikeouts in his first 4 full seasons than Green has had.
For sure, but Green also would probably pitched 100 less innings if you look at where they're at with that stuff. So – there's got to be some of that. There's some of that. Like Scherzer went 56, 170. Green's never gone one more. Green's never gone more than 150. Scherzer's gone one. He went 195.
Scherzer pitched almost 300 innings more.
So there is that part of it that which will. I
think that just shows me that there's no way we won't even be able to make these comparisons, even if they pitch similarly. We won't be able to make these comparisons when you talk about longevity and records down the road.
I'm just saying same type of pitcher. I could see the same career happening with those two, or he becomes an 8. Look at the 8 out of 10 Cy Young. That's where I see it.
He seems like too nice of a guy. I don't think he's psycho enough.
Well, maybe that is the case. That might be part of it for you. Might be part as well. Just a quick look at the league leaders. Obviously,
the Luge.
Yep, in the runs, Kyle Tucker, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Bryce Turang, Ian Happ are there at your top 4 in runs. Tucker leading. Along with the surprise Jacob Wilson, the athletic shortstop. Yes, Jack Wilson. I always say it. Pirates shortstop. It looks like his son can hit a lot better than Jack would, even though Jack was a multi-time probably Gold Glove winner. Altuve, Churio, Donovan, Schmidt, Springer also in there in the top in hits as well. Jung-Hoo Lee getting a fan club out here in San Francisco, leads the league in doubles. And like I said, you got Judge, Schwarber, Soderstrom, also an athletic. 6 home runs, leading the home runs as well. Judge with 20 RBIs, Churio and Hernandez, Tucker all tied at that top spot for 16 RBIs. And then batting a robust 429, really early, obviously. You got George Springer there for your league leaders, Josh, around there on the hitting side of things. Just a quick little thing on just a fun little stat for pitching. I don't want to go through all of it, but for pitching, what would I favor? The one, I always go to it when I do fantasy. Most innings pitched outside of the 2 Cubs guys, who should have more because they played in Japan. Yes, you're right. Darren, just to prove your point more, it is Hunter Green at 20.2 innings. So there you go. And then we got just the best with Josh on that one. And then my favorite one also is who's given up the most runs. Dylan Cease has given up the most runs for the strikeouts there And then leading the MLB in strikeouts is Logan Gilbert and Mackenzie Gore. So those are your league leaders here, kind of after the first couple of weeks as well. Josh, a couple Cardinals getting close there, so we'll see if they can make it up the board there a little bit here. But all right, league leaders with it. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna get the diving notes here. Edwards, Logan won.
I'm still here.
Nats, they take the series from the Dodgers. He said the Dodgers were overhyped because of this. I don't know about that. I still that doesn't mean anything to me. Your boy, Mr. Eric there, your starting pitcher for the Cardinals gets taken out. He understands the hook, even though no hitter was in play. Always disappoints me when I hear things like that. And then Yankees, Cody Bellinger swears off chicken wings. He got food poisoning, Josh. You ever been there with something where, my God, I'm never eating this again because I got too
I think
sick.
we've all been there with alcohol.
yeah. Nobody swears that off after, though. Nobody swears that off.
I had a bad night with Fireball once.
Nobody swears that off, though. Would you swear off Buffalo? Are you a wings guy?
Dude, there's no way I can't. I just cook my wings longer, man. Like, you learn your lesson. You cook the wings wrong, or you just ask for them to be well done, like I always do when I go to a restaurant. Well done and extra saucy, baby.
I remember my son, he's like, I'm never eating at McDonald's again. He got like sick off a burger. And like 4 months later, he's like, I'll take a cheeseburger, brother. I was like, I knew it.
How quickly they forget.
Yeah, I was like, I knew it, man. That's funny. They got that with it. And then what do you think about I don't have it up here as quite of that, but the Pirates, did you hear about the Pirates owner with the Clemente sign down the right field line? Did you hear about that at all this week?
I saw that you mentioned it in our chat, but then when I watched the Cardinals play the Pirates, it was there.
Yeah, well, they brought it back because fans they had an alcoholic beverage as like a kind of, they replaced it with it. I think the Pirates and the Pirates are, gosh, like I said, I think they're worse than the A's, believe it or not. I know Fisher, they moved the team, which is tough, but I mean, being a realistic fan, the Pirates ownership it's got to be by far the worst. I mean, the A's are right there. I know it because they moved the team, so I'm not saying that, but like, maybe they got lucky because Bean's a GM, which is probably the case, and the Pirates haven't had that. But the Pirates suck. They've always sucked for a long time. And their ownership does dumb, stupid things like this that are ridiculous. You don't remove the sign of one of the best players in Major League Baseball history for an alcohol sign. It doesn't make any sense. And then you have his grandson chiming in on X saying, wow, other people chiming in about it. I mean, just talk about just not knowing your crowd, Josh. Just one of the dumbest things I've ever seen here. It is. It's stupid.
Well, Roberto Clemente is not only like a Pirate great, he's an MLB legend.
Exactly.
I mean, he has an
number.
award named after him. I don't think they have enough there for him.
No, they don't. They should. You could rightfully have a day where everybody wears his number. You know what I mean? Like, that's not
like, why not?
It's just such a lack of awareness, right? Like, you say this, I say this, I'm like, be aware of the situation. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is like, it's your idol. It's like the what Pirates fans, the old Pirate fans know, and you're replacing it with a beverage for. I mean, my goodness, it's ridiculous. And then when you have his family chiming in about it too, you know something. Like, you know what I mean? That's way off.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's distasteful. I didn't realize that there was a beer sign put in. That to me changes my entire.
It's like a White Claw type of deal, like a White Claw type of drink.
It's not even a good drink. It's like if you were gonna put.
No, you can't put anything up. You can't.
I was gonna put like Roberto Clemente's beer of choice, and then put the beer or whatever the drink. I mean, maybe you could pull that.
No, you pull that up. No.
I mean, it's still gonna be insulting. I don't know. It's just I don't know. Like,
they're so dumb. One of the worst.
Do other stadiums have we have Big Mac Land in St. Louis, and then we have the Pujols area, and then we have Freeze's Landing, which is the center part of the outfield in the stands where it's cut out and it's all grass. Like, we have designated parts of the stadium after our legendary players. Did they have that in Oakland when the A's were there?
They would do like other stuff with it. Like, they'd have they called like the music crowd with it. They had they had certain sections of players. They had when somebody would hit a lot of home runs. I'm trying to think the T Long. I remember the T Long sign being up there for Terrence Long. They did have Big Mac stuff when they were in the early 80s or in the late 80s too. So, but I also think of other stadiums like Like I know the Orioles have they have Birdland, they have stuff like that. But
Right,
there are
yeah.
players that there's things that named after it.
So
But I
how do
don't.
you not have like Roberto Clemente's own section
Yeah, you
or
gotta.
part of the ballpark?
We had
or
a sign up there with his number retired on the right field line, and somebody's dumb enough said, "Let's take that great player's sign. That means a lot to our fan base, and let's be better for it by replacing it with an alcoholic beverage." Josh, the Pirates are the dumbest franchise in America outside of the Athletics. They are literally the dumbest franchise.
It's all about money, and maybe somebody was going to pay them a ton of money to do it, and they want the money. Who knows? I don't know what it is, but yeah, they're dumb. I mean, they're dumb.
So dumb. So dumb. And what do you think of the
Dumb is distasteful.
Well, I think it's also just dumb, like a lack of awareness. Like the guys, like you said, you could retire, you could have his jersey out there, and you're like, no, that it's right there for everybody to see, and we're going to replace it. You know, somebody's going to find that across. One of the fans are going to take a picture of it. So, yeah, sorry, I got a little hostile. I got a little hostile about it.
I loved it, man. You never get that fired up.
That's just ridiculous. It's just like the Pirates, freaking idiots. Like, God, it's like I deal with these, like when I'm coaching basketball, and I'm like, this person's like, get this kid talking to the ref today. I'm like, I yell out, I'm like, you fouled him, keep your mouth shut. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's just like, what are you trying to lose us the game against the ref and stuff? So like, I do all this stuff. Like, so anyways, I got that pissed me off there, and so we got that with it. And then you know what else pisses me off? I'm not gonna go on a rant about it.
Let's do it.
And I know it's early in the year, but how do the Cardinals? Come on, let people finish no hitters. My gosh, I hate this thing. I'm not a fan of it. You know that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either.
Even for your guy,
do
you understand?
Fetty had a great first outing, then had a horrible second outing, and I'm guessing that Mamal was like, when he blows up, he's going to blow up so bad he's going to lose the game. I got to pull it. And then we end up losing the game anyways. So exactly. I hope Mamal learned a lesson. People, if you've watched me here or anywhere else talk about the Cardinals, you've probably heard me talk about my stance on Ollie Marmol. I hope this is a learning experience for him. I see something different in him this year. He just
like bad or good.
To me, it seems like it'd be trending to a good thing.
All right, so you got it.
He seems to have this.
Do you think the
air of confidence?
Do you feel like the organization's behind him?
I think he's got the locker room.
Right.
I don't think it matters about the organization right now. I think he has the locker room.
No, that's fair.
That's fair. I think he's got this swag. He got his little extension, so now he's like, all right, I got the locker room with me. I got my extension. I'm good to go. They're not going to bring Yachty in right now.
Nope.
They're not going to bring Albert in right now to be the head coach. So I think he's feeling a little more comfortable. He's feeling himself. He's getting settled. We'll see how he manages this team this year. I still don't think they're over 500 at best, unless they go and make a trade because they realize, oh, we have an offense. We need another starting pitcher. We got to go trade for somebody. We're going to have to give something up. Like we're going to have to trade Gorman. Or we're going to have to trade somebody who's producing we're in a log jam, and we're going to have to go get a pitcher. And we're going to have to pick them off from somebody at the bottom.
Oh, Contreras.
That's the only way the Cardinals do anything this year.
Oh, but does it bother you, though, the no-hitter thing? Does that bother you like that? Like when you were watching that game, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Good move.
Don't get me started on this. We already had your rant. I'm just saying yes or no. To rant too. No, it's like.
Well, I got something.
If a pitcher's there and he's got it going on, you got to let him go. You can't stop him. That's absolutely asinine in my opinion. To me, it's the equivalent of a guy who's rolled 9 strikes in a row and he's going in the 10th frame and somebody going, dude, 3 more and you got a perfect game, or anything like that. It's just like,
hey, you look a little fatigued. Let me get somebody to replace you
before you fall apart. Basically, is how I'm saying. Like,
oh yeah, no, I get you.
It's bad juju, in my opinion. Like something's gonna happen down the line. I'm gonna go, do you remember when he pulled Fetty during that no-hitter? Now we're paying the price because the baseball gods
lost the game because of it, you idiots. That's exactly what happened with it.
And maybe the baseball gods already made us pay our price. We lost way in extra innings and had to use a bunch of pitching. So
you got that. You had. I wanted to get into who's hot and who's cold real quick here. Around the league. I got a few guys. I'm not going to go crazy with everybody like I did with the standings, but your boy Contreras, the catcher, he's been terrible. My goodness, that guy has been striking out Every at bat, I feel like Mr. Contreras is striking out. But what if his arm is hanging, jeopardize the whole season because he gets hurt? Yeah, no, I get you, Josh. I know. I'm just throwing it out for. I miss the storylines, like you said. Good movies, Josh. The storyline of the no hitter, the pitcher being the star. So I agree. And that's what the management has decided. That's what analytics have told us about it. But for the story,
I'm so tired of analytics. Analytics do not make legends. Legends are made by doing things
now, Bud
not
Smith isn't a legend.
to do.
I will say this: Bud Smith is not a legend for his no hitter, but that's
but he will always be.
But I remember him because of that. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Like anybody who ever says Bud Smith, you're gonna know he threw a no hitter.
Phil Humber, yeah, the perfect game for the White Sox. Yeah, I would remember that name.
That's what I'm saying. Like greatness comes from doing things you're not supposed to do, or things that are contrary to the common belief.
There is that. I agree. I think that's what
legends are born and legends are made.
And that's why pitchers.
That's what makes sports great.
Well said. And that's why pitchers going deep into the game need to be a thing. Well done, Mr. Edwards, on that. Josh Lewis, hope you're well out there. Your Giants playing well. I had him.
Dude, Josh, I miss you, man. I hope you're well, buddy.
I hope you're doing good out there.
Can't wait to have you on the show soon. You let us know when you're ready.
I know he's got kids playing ball as well, so he's probably out there.
I know he's gonna be busy for like the next 3-4 months.
Here's I got who's hot, who's cold. Contreras there for your Cardinals, terrible. Devin Williams for the Yankees.
But he ain't getting me a ring, Josh.
They trade for Devin Williams, and my God, he's been terrible to start the year for the Yankees. I think he's got a 40.50 ERA. Josh, don't make that. Don't get hurt. Don't make that your ERA. I brought up Dylan Cease with most earned runs this last week against the Athletics. He went 4 innings, 9 earned runs, giving up. Walked 3. Gave up 6 in the first inning. So a little bit of a rough outing there as well. To Josh, would you rather have a no-hitter or a 15-year career with a couple rings? He played for the Cardinals.
I mean, you got to say, when I get a couple rings, that puts
me not getting rings with the Cardinals.
Yeah, you're not getting rings with the Cardinals, one. Fetty's not getting a ring now. But on a personal, I'd rather have the 15-year career with a couple of rings. But you don't know if you're going to be able to win a championship. If I have the opportunity to throw a no-hitter, I want that chance.
He threw 84 pitches, too. I get it.
The pitch count. They've been super strict on the pitch count in St. Louis. The only guys they've let go are Michaelis.
That's the only guy they've let go over 100?
I don't think he even went over 100. I think
is that against the Red Sox where he got tanked? No, just to keep him out there, punish him? You're going 100.
Basically, you took it. We're not going to burn the bullpen on you.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. That's where I came from on that. Like I said, Lewis.
But Josh, I completely understand your point.
I get it too. I get the other side. It's just like I said, storyline wise, stuff like that. I do like that. Who's hot? Bregman. We talked about Tucker a little bit. Corbin Carroll's been heating up here. 10 RBIs. Maybe it's 11 over the last week.
He's growing on me, man.
Jackson Churio had a big game the other day. 7 RBIs. The Brewers, who looked like they were Logan already throwing them under the bus. After week 1, I said, whoa, let's hold the brakes there. They've kind of bounced back this week. They're over 500. So, or maybe they're 500 now after today's loss. So, Churio off to a little bit of a hot start as well. Wilmer Flores off to a great start for the Giants as well. Verlander got rocked. He's on my who's cold now with a little bit with the Giants. So
he's not just cold; he's old.
He's what are the 8? I think with the Athletics. How many runs are you going to get up in the first inning? My gosh, Severino. He had the first outing, then he's been sucked the last 2 since then. Who's hot? Mets bullpen. No, nothing turns on an audience like bullpen talk. Nothing gets an audience roaring like a little bullpen. Those middle relievers, that fires me up right there. No, I'm just kidding. It's always important, but we got it. Also, I'm totally playing devil's advocate. If I'm on the mound, I want to know. No. All right, good.
I knew he wasn't lost to that because I know he's a competitor. That's what I was like. Are you really going to play that?
That's great. I love it. I love it. Also,
I know you're better than that.
I know you with that. I love it, Lewis. What you got? You got me with the. He's been on fire for your Giants out there. He had a terrible year last year. As the one thing is about guys like that aren't like studs, but they're right there, just solid quality baseball hitters. Usually, at the end of the day, the back of their baseball card adds up year to year, and he's kind of bouncing back this year to that. You're seeing that from Yaz a little bit as well, who had the walk-off home run against the Reds, who I talked about. Hey, Josh, real quick, I think you joined me a little late, but I just want to get your thoughts because me and Josh talked about this real quick. do you think Hunter Green could be in the next Max Scherzer type range? That we just had that conversation. Not going to talk about it more, but if you thought of me of saying Hunter Green to Scherzer, yeah, I'm just curious what you thought about that as well. We had a good conversation about that. So that's our who's hot and who's cold this week with it. Josh, anybody else that you want to maybe throw out that you saw or something? Cardinal, if not, no worries. We can keep it moving here. Bregman with the Red Sox, though. It's a good start.
Devers is getting warmer.
How about the Astros getting rid of Bregman and Tucker, and they're both like just killing it right now?
Yeah, they're just
killing it.
They got to be going.
Susie's got to be. Susie's like,
Susie's been going absolutely nuts on the X. And you know, I love Susie. Yeah. But she got to understand you ain't going to win every game. And balls and strikes have missed and blown calls of balls and strikes have always been a part of the game. You can't get mad every time an ump misses a call. He is a human being. And it is part of the game. And it's part of life. Not everything goes your way. Life's not always fair. Baseball is a metaphor for life.
It is definitely. Josh,
and if you don't think it is, come on, get in the chat, and I will explain the whole thing to you. And then Darren will make it sound even more convincing because he's way more articulate than I am.
I don't know about that. My wife
Mackenzie Gore's been hot too, yes.
He has been. He got 25 strikeouts. Like I said, he's tied with Mr. Gilbert, and another guy who's been hot is Luzardo. Went to the Phillies there as well. Angels bats, Josh. Maybe you can slap me in the face. I didn't have them in the top 10 of my power rankings. They've been hot. Was it Adele? I think hit the 2 homers today. He had the 2 homers today. Mr. Adele there. So he ends up getting that. The Angels have been playing well. Logan was kind of on there a little bit there with that as well. I like the umpire. He was yelling at Paul Skeens this week as well. Enjoyed that. Just a little shout out to also as I got to move on here in a second. Strider. 13 Ks again in the minor leagues. Not saying that, but he's coming. Just let people know he's coming back. So we got that with it in the same inning. Yes, that was impressive. Nothing more. It was Tatis Sr. that hit the 2 grand slams in the same inning, right? Okay, so that's the one. It wasn't 2. Yes, a few people have done. I know the 2 home run thing, but the grand slam thing is going to be pretty tough to beat.
It's never going to happen.
I doubt it.
Because of analytics, it'll never happen. No manager is going to let a pitcher put 3 guys on, allow a grand slam, and then let him continue to pitch, put 3 more guys on and pitch. Go through the entire order and let that same guy come back up who hit the first grand slam and pitch him again. There's no way that's ever going to happen.
Well, hold on. Note to self. It sounds like Dylan Cease might, based on what I saw, and your boy Michael. So those are the 2 guys that are up for the running, right, Josh?
Okay. So we got 2 guys in the running. Fine. But the likelihood to see that happen again is slim to none.
Probably not going to happen on that. Not going to happen with it. All right, that's our who's hot, who's cold as well with it. All right, let's get to my bonanza part of the show here with it. We got that. Let's go to your Cardinals first, and then we'll get to Josh's Giants, maybe Aaron's Mets here if they're still.
All right, so we got top 5 extra base hits, top 5 average.
Top 5, yep. Top 5 total bases, 2010, top 5
so this could be difficult. All right, McGuire goes to 99. Edmonds goes to 9. Hold on, no. Langford goes to 99. McEwing goes to 99. Renteria stays in 04.
Pool's got to be 04, right? For Lind?
Yeah, and then Jaime Garcia has to move to where Jim Edmonds is. Hold on. Top 5.
I would switch Edmonds and Yachty here, maybe, no?
Well, Jaime Garcia is a pitcher.
No, I know. So where do you want Garcia?
So I was trying to put him with the rest of the pitchers.
All right, so move him for Edmonds. All right.
Yeah. Skip's got to go back to 2000. No, Yachty's bat wasn't any good there. Jim's was. So, yeah, put Jim.
It's got to be Jim for Yachty, no?
It's got to. Yeah, it needs to be because Ryan wasn't there yet. Skip wasn't there yet. Edgar was still. That's got to be it. That's got to be a home run.
All right, let's see what you got. Great. Are we going to get the walk-off? Yes, Edwards, 2 weeks in a row. Well done, sir. You've been on fire there with it. I like that. Let's get to the Giants.
This is very tough.
Let's see if I can.
Oh, baby! I got both Molina brothers.
There you go, baby. Got that. Okay, let's get the pictures, like you said. Zito, obviously on there. Lincecum on there.
Who's your last pitcher? Oh, Bumgarner.
So if you go 1999,
Ray Durham.
Jeff Kent. No, Durham wasn't there yet.
Dang it.
Snow. That's where that would be. So I feel good about that one. Alfonso, I feel like he's 04. Maybe I'm not. Maybe he's a little late. I'm gonna go Molina 09.
I couldn't see him having top 5 best average.
And I'm gonna switch. I want to go Alfonso, but I kind of want to go. I don't think Alfonso was there in 09, but let's see. I think that would be my
good shot.
That'd be my guess. Yeah, I feel like it's Alfonso. Yep, Alfonso and Wynn. That was the only one. Giant. That wasn't bad on that.
Throw your A's up there. Let's see what you got.
Should I throw my A's up there? See if I can get them. All right.
That just says athletics now.
Yeah, I know. Come on, walk off. I thought we were going to keep it Oakland for a while. No, I'm just kidding. I know Eric's probably under pressure for that, but appreciate Eric in these games.
Katse.
I think. Well, I already got Cahill Gray there with that. That's easy. Who's my other pitcher? Big Gio is there. 2004. That's a Hatterberg one. Ben Greaves there. Cust is 04. Suzuki's there. Stairs is there. Suzuki. I like that. I think I'm gonna Durazo, I think, for Cust. And I remember my brother used to say in Cust we combust. So there we go. See, that's
nice. Got it again. Very good. We know our teams.
We know our team daily walk off. So appreciate you letting us do it again this week on it. So appreciate the games with that. Always appreciate that. Alfonso earlier. Thank you, Josh. I should have got that. I should have knew that it was a little earlier. Edgar was back there with it. I should have had him. All right, MLB trivia here. Edwards, see what you got.
Bust me up, huh? All right.
This one's gonna be a little tough for you. So we'll see if Lewis is still in here, maybe, or whoever. Maybe Aaron, he'll help us here with it as well. They can get us in with a few that might be able to.
Oh, I gotta turn the comments off.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you turn those off. We don't want you with that. But all right, here we go with it. Hit number 1. I played 14 years from 2006 to 2019, playing for the Mariners, Orioles, and Diamondbacks. I was a 5-time All-Star. Probably not enough for you.
Yeah, I have no idea. Come on.
But that gives you a little bit. So those are the 3 teams: Mariners, Orioles, Diamondbacks. It was a 5-time All-Star, so solid player. I played outfield for those teams, winning 4 Gold Gloves in center field, also hitting 282 home runs and 945 RBI. So decent. Played center field. Played center field, just to give you that little thing. Hit almost 300 home runs. I finished 6th in AL voting for MVP in 2012 for the Orioles. And I made 4 straight All-Star games from 2012 to 2015. A majority of his success did come with the Orioles. He started with the Mariners for a few years, had 1 year with the Diamondbacks at the end. Mostly had most of his success with the Orioles as their center fielder.
So, yeah, it's a team I don't follow closely enough, especially back then. But hold on. They had an All-Star, which would have been odd for them at this time period.
I want to say that. Well, they were really good during that time. They were really good with Buck and Chris Davis and all those guys.
Oh, this is that era?
Yep, this is that era. And then he won. I think he actually also won a World Classic with Mark DeRosa as the manager for Team USA all the way. He's going to get another shot there. So just to throw that out as well. Come on. I know they know it. Yes, Aaron. As soon as I gave some of those other hints. Aaron, did you know it before I threw it out? Did you know that already before I threw out the center fielder thing? Or that was probably the best.
I mean, I don't even guess on this one. I don't even know where to go.
He's African American. That helps as well.
That's like 30% of the league, man.
Oh, why?
MLB wishes 2012 Orioles. He retired in
That's right-handed. Rob's home runs. We got it. Come on, we know it. He ended his career in Japan. I'm already hitting. Got me. All right, so I got there with it. All right, Mr.
I don't got nothing.
Adam Jones. Adam Jones.
Adam Pac-Man Jones?
You didn't know Adam Jones? One of the best center fielders at the Orioles.
No, Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Robbed home runs, almost at 300 home runs, won the World Baseball Classic for Team USA all the way. Come on, Edwards.
I missed that one.
Let's get that knowledge up, brother. We got to get that out. I'm testing you with that. That's what it is. So now you'll never forget Adam Jones for that reason right now. Here's my MLB.
Full-time Gold Glover, played with the Orioles.
That's pretty good. Not bad. During that time, Chris Davis as well, Buck Showalter. They were there. They were the team. They were the team to beat. Who was the shortstop for that team? J.J. Hardy, I believe, was the shortstop for that team as well.
You made me look stupid there. Good job.
Well, that was the goal. That was the goal. We got that. All right, MLB flashback. We'll talk about looking stupid. Here we go.
What a ride! The Cardinals are world champs in 2011.
All right, here's a good MLB flashback. This is not a play. This is just something that I found online that I thought was kind of funny. Well, obviously, we had the passing of Mr. Euchre. Obviously, a few months ago, I want to say now. Here's like a kind of a video he did with the old coach, Earl Weaver. He used to be the coach of, those Orioles back in the day. I think I've done a flashback of him yelling at umpire at first base, but just kind of a funny video here for a minute 20 that hopefully you guys will enjoy.
Aviator, buddy boy. You're out of here. You're for what? I'm out, but you're a better man for it. You're kidding me.
You call that arguing? You get run from the game and all you can do is walk back here smiling?
I'm not smiling. I'm aggravated.
Well, let me tell you something. You can only get thrown out once.
I thought I did a decent job.
You can't get thrown out twice. So if you get thrown out, you might as well get a little creative.
Well, what am I going to do? I thought I did a decent job.
Let me show you something.
Oh, wow. Here he
Let
comes.
me show you what I mean now. By the first thing you do is get right up in their face. You point the finger. Then if you can't get close enough, you turn the hand around and kick some dirt. And then if he's missed a strike, you get over here and you put dirt all over the thing. You throw the hat down, you pick it up, you throw it, and you're so bad, you throw him out of the game. You're out of here. That's the way a major league manager
I
should,
learned something, buddy
should
boy.
get thrown out of the game, just like
Well,
that.
you are a
I
maestro.
thought it was good. I don't know.
Man, that was beautiful. I can't believe you did that. I got to look at that one more time. I'm going to slow it down a little bit this time, too. That was great.
Oh, man.
I
This
can't
is a
believe
commercial?
how far you threw your hat. Beautiful.
It was just a video on like those. They do the Saturday show this week in baseball, and I just thought it was so good. I had to share that with you this week.
I've
It's
never
just
seen
good
that,
stuff
man.
with Bob Euchre, and then I just thought it was good stuff. It was
That's
good time
funny.
in it. Like so,
This
kind of,
stretch
kind of.
show.
I thought it was a good flashback video. Good little flashback. We usually do plays with it, but
Who would have been better than Earl Weaver for that?
Huh?
Who would have been better for Earl Weaver than that? Tommy Lasorda.
Well, Lou Piniella is the only other one.
Oh, Lou Piniella, yeah.
Remember, he would pick up the bases, and he was kind of known for kind of throwing that stuff as well.
Can we cross sport this? I'll give you one other one.
Yeah, who you got?
Bobby Knight.
Yeah, definitely Bobby Knight.
You see Bobby Knight?
Definitely Bobby Knight. Yeah, you throw chairs.
love it.
You're throwing chairs. I think I've shown that one to you. I'll have to send it to you again. But there's one with this umpire at first base. It's my favorite throw-out video of all time. You're here for one reason and one reason only, to F us over. Like, that's literally all he keeps saying.
You have shown me that one.
I think that was the one I kept doing. So it's just like my favorite one with him doing that. So Edward's good show tonight. Remember, if I hit Ed's stream, right, it will go to it. So we'll get to it
It's
at that point.
supposed to. We're trying this new technology out.
We'll see if it goes for that.
Don't know.
Appreciate the guys tuning in the comments tonight. At Aaron in there, you're on your game tonight. Appreciate that, man. CP checking in as well. Brandon out there with St. Louis Sports. You guys doing a good job over there with the post games with it. Mr. Josh Lewis, the legend that is Mr. Josh Lewis. So appreciate you as well. Edwards, get some rest this week. I'll see you next week for a show here on Thursday night. Try to get some rest. I don't know what you're doing. So we'll see how it goes with that.
Rest.
You're getting rest. We don't get rest when we have kids. No rest when we have kids. That's the way. That's the name of the game. It doesn't happen, people. So, all right. So for Josh Edwards, I'm Darren Breyer. We'll see you guys next week on 7th Inning.